Mr. Liddy, there are a lot of people in our country hurting very badly right now, and I think you know that. I know you know that. Have you asked any of the executives who received these bonuses if they would voluntarily forego these bonuses and pay the taxpayers money back so we can try to get on with this whole thing?
I have. I asked them this morning.
And?
I've been in this hearing all day. I don't know what the outcome is.
You haven't received any emails or phone calls?
No, I prefer to ask the right people, and I will do that.
And we would like a report back if you get information about that. Will you be willing to provide that information to us, sir?
Yes.
Within a short time after you receive it, if you do receive that information?
Yes, I'll be very transparent with you. I just want to, I need to get the information. I need to give them a chance to make a rational decision and then provide it to everyone who has an interest in it.
Sure. I don't know that our country can afford to wait until 2012 for AIG to pay its money back. So if AIG continues to behave like this, despite being supported by not only current taxpayers, but also by future generations, our children and grandchildren, when will you pay the money back? When will AIG pay the money back, sir?
As I mentioned, we have a plan to do that in 2 to 3 years. We'll do it just as quickly as we can. I know it's frustrating to hear that long a time frame. You can't sell assets if there's no one prepared to buy those assets. We need to sell assets or transfer them to the Federal Reserve in payment of that debt. We think we have a good plan to do exactly that. We'll act on pieces of it within the next couple of quarters.
Did any of the executives who left AIG who received retention bonuses return the money? Were there in fact people who left after receiving retention bonuses?
Yes, there were people at AIG Financial Products who had a book of business to wind down, and our commitment to them was if they wound it down within certain parameters, they would get a retention bonus. In some cases, they did that before the end of the year. They left. We paid them their retention bonus.
A retention bonus is to retain the person in your employ, isn't that correct?
It was offered to them at the beginning of 2008 for them to stay and be retained and wind down the book of business so we could get out of that as quickly and expeditiously as possible. So they did stay for the period of time we needed them.
And how much did you pay to those individuals?
I don't know.
Were there different bonuses to each different person?
Well, yes, it would have depended upon what their activity was and what their compensation was.
But we're talking about several $1 million in some cases?
Yes. It would have probably been in the range of $1 million. I just don't have the number, sir.
So some of these people receive retention bonuses of $1 million or more for staying on for an additional, say, less than 1 year. Is that correct, sir?
Well, they received a retention bonus for doing what we asked them to do, wind down your book of business in a way that we agree with it and doesn't cost us any money. If you can do that in 6 months, that's okay. If it takes you 18 months, we understand that. But wind that book of business down. That's how we got the $2.7 trillion derivatives book down to $1.6 trillion.
But do you understand how frustrating that must be to people who are watching this on television, understanding some of these people received in excess of $1 million as a retention bonus and now they're gone? Can you understand that, sir?
I do understand it, and the only thing I can say is we got the benefit of the bargain. We got from them what we asked them to do. That was help us reduce the risk in this book of business.
Can you understand that some American people might think you paid way too much to get that bargain?
I can understand that, yes.